I would have to set that up. Too lazy.
All right. I believe we are currently live. I cannot view the Twitch chat. So hold on. Make a new window real quick. Ooh, that was bad.
Yeah. Well,
Well, guys,
I
here
can
we
assume
are.
it's working. Yep. We
Cool.
are here.
So are you gonna just like give a quick overview of what this channel is?
Yeah, so a few months ago, I was just chilling back at my house, and I was like, "Oh, I haven't been able to like follow the melee scene in like forever because I just started dedicating all my time to Smash 4." And then one of the places that I just consistently watch videos was Melee on Me, and I saw that Tafakits has like his own video series like going on, and it's like commentators curse, Tafel talks, all this stuff, and I was like, hey, that's so cool, and I like really enjoyed that content. I got so glued to it that I was like watching all the backlogs of videos he had, and then just one day like I went to do commentary, and I guess because like usually I'm there first, and I try not to be, but I'm always there first because like I'm usually going after work. It's usually like JMX or somebody would ask me like, hey, do you want to just go on the mic and just talk to people for now? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I thought like, why? There's never enough time to put it like actually like have like 30 whole minutes, because then we have to do like, okay, here's 10 minutes of just me here, and then we go out to the actual games, and then of course like the winner interview. So I said it'd be a great place to have all that content, like interviews and things we can all talk about, because we never have enough time. And then there's only like space for 2 people on the mic. So I decided I should just do it myself. Especially I was inspired by the fact that like Tavakits usually has himself and God, I can't remember his name now. The leader of Team Oxy. God.
Blur?
Yeah, Crimson Blur. Yeah, there you go. I can see that's how bad I'm disconnected from the melee scene. So I decided like, hey, I should do that. Like I should follow that idea through. So I decided to do it, and here we are, guys.
That's cool. Yeah, I did like a talk show with them back then for a little bit, but it wasn't like on a Twitch stream. We would just record it like I don't know how you'd say. We record it, but it wouldn't be live, and then we would upload it to YouTube.
You're not talking about Dare Down, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Dare Down?
Yeah. But it wasn't specific to SoCal stuff, so I guess this is a little bit different. And it's actually live, so yeah, that's cool.
And we got 7 viewers already. Shout outs to everyone who's actually shown up already. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, guys. And I brought you guys. Originally, it was going to be Dynamo. I kind of want to have a player all the time, but I personally thank you, Strides, for being on here today.
What are you talking about? I am a player.
You are a player. He is a player. I mean, but he wasn't a player originally.
You're saying we're not players or what? Damn, Strides. Strides got a PR win and everything.
Yeah. I haven't commentated in forever.
That's not true. You just did it like the other day at Hat.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't count when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's great to have you on the show, dude. I did want to have you on the show originally, but I kind of want to make sure I plan things like around it. I kind of want to have like an always rotating chair, but I also want to have somebody who's always co-hosting with me. So I'm still kind of like, this show is basically in beta, but I didn't want to wait forever and then I'd say like, oh, I'm gonna do it next time until I have better things or a better structure. I was like, you know what, I think I should just do it now, and then as I go, you know, I was talking to you, Edman, you tell me like, oh, we'll just improve as we go. So I decided,
Actually, that's like a huge recommendation I give to people, because I know a lot of people, they say they want to stream and they're like, oh, I'm gonna wait till I have like equipment and this and that, and then never actually end up streaming. And it's like, dude, if you got like a jank setup, like if you want to use your phone as your webcam and like point it at your freaking like TV, and that's like what you got, then start from there, and then like you can build up from there, because like you're gonna build your audience that way, like, and people are gonna at least know you're there, and then, you know, once you have improved, people will see that improvement and actually just like will be drawn to you even more. Yeah, that's the cool thing for people that have been there from the beginning. It's like, oh, I remember when he was like streaming all jank.
Dude, no kidding, man. I was just watching Ninja and Drake like live all day the other day. I was like, Jesus Christ, you guys are swimming in money right now. But
$500,000 of subs.
It was insane, dude.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it is a pretty gloomy day in SoCal today. But still a lot of room for a lot of news today. Of course, if you guys don't know, our structure of the show is basically each and every week, as much as possible, we'll come together to the show and we'll have rotating members here and there, and we'll improve as we go. But each and every week, we come here to talk about the scene in Smash, and of course SoCal in particular. And of course, I'm pretty sure the number one question is we all get our own topics, and we all bring those topics to the board to discuss for your viewing pleasure. And of course, if you can't watch the show live, if you happen to miss it, you guys can always catch the VODs on the YouTube channel with the same name, coincidentally. So I had to make sure that I could get everything the same name and then get the Gmail the same name. So I did a lot of work. Thank God it all went to plan and nothing failed.
Nice.
Yeah, if you guys can catch the show.
Vance.
Yeah, thank you, man. All right, so I'm gonna start us off.
Wait, one quick thing.
Oh yeah, go first.
I'm hearing the stream echo, so I think someone should like close the stream if they have it open.
Or at
like,
least mute themselves for a minute. Yeah, I have mine muted.
Just making sure everyone has theirs muted if they have the stream.
Yeah, I
open.
have the stream muted. It might just be that like the sound is coming in too loud from the
Okay, well if that's unavoidable, it's fine. I just want to make sure everyone muted the stream.
Yeah, no, thank you, Strides.
I think that maybe it's better now.
Yeah. All right, so to start us off right away, of course, everybody knows it's like the biggest talk of the town. Smash 5 is coming. It is officially like been announced. We've all been like waiting for every single Nintendo Direct for like ever. Like, oh, when Smash Switch, when Smash that, now it's finally here. And I wanted to bring it to the table for discussion. And originally, my opinion is I think Smash 5 is going to be... It's hard to say it because there's not a lot of evidence that I have for it. But I think Smash 5 is going to be, for all intents and purposes, a game very similar to how we see Street Fighter 5. I think that this game was announced a little too fast, and the given date was given out really, really quick. I think the fact that it's like a 2018 game is pretty amazing. But I think Smash 5, if for all intents and purposes, is like Street Fighter 5 in terms of structure. So, of course, as we all know, Street Fighter 5 launched. It was a base game. We got base characters, base stages, and as time went on, they added DLC and they added stages and different story modes to add to it, and that kind of built up hype. Street Fighter 5 was kind of a slow game to start off with. It wasn't like highly praised. It was really weird coming for a lot of people from Ultra Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5. And then once we got to Street Fighter 5, a lot of people were wondering like, oh, when are we getting characters? And Capcom was like, we're going to release those characters, but we are going to give those characters with time. But we're also going to be focusing on balance patches for those set characters. And I think the structure really works well for Nintendo in terms of marketing, where we have a set amount of characters released, and as we get more DLC balances and DLC released, they'll be able to fine-tune those characters because, we always need balance patches. I mean, I don't complain about Bayonetta, but look at how the community, reacts to Bayonetta. How, like, they want another patch, potentially, or some kind of fix, remove witch time or whatever, or things like that. So I think for all intents and purposes for their marketing, in terms of building overall hype as we go, I think they're going to be going for a Street Fighter 5 structure. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
I don't really know how to disagree with anything you said.
Yeah,
Like,
I never thought about that particularly. Like, I didn't really think that that's how it would go, but that makes sense. I mean, it's like not really a Street Fighter thing. Like, it's a good comparison to make it like Street Fighter because that's like how everyone knows it, but it's like very much like common nowadays, especially with fighting games. Like, you're seeing what they're doing with what's it called, BlazBlue tag or cross tag or whatever the hell it's called, where it's like they're just releasing the base game and then like all the other characters is like a separate like $20 piece or whatever. That's just the way that games like are being developed now. As to your point of it coming out too soon, I don't know about that. I do think that it's going to be a new game, and I don't know if you want reasons why like it's going to be a new game or why it's not going to be a new game, because there's a lot of evidence pointing in both directions. And just like briefly on that, I think like it's like the question is port or new game, and like some people think it's going to be an enhanced port, and
right.
if it's an enhanced port, like I still think that's gonna be a new game. But like I would consider that a new game because the comparison that I make is like with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where it's like it's an enhanced port, but they changed the mechanics of the game. Um, so that's the direction I see it going. Is if they were to make it a port, like even if it was a new game, I still think they're gonna have the same base engine as Smash 4 and maybe change some mechanics, rework some characters. But if they were gonna do that, then I would just like I would figure that they would just like make an entirely brand new game. And it's like Sakurai already came out and said that he was been making it in secret. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be, if they do port it, then I can't see it going the way of Street Fighter because the content's like already there.
Yeah.
But if it is a brand new game, then like yeah, I could see it being the way you just said.
What do you think, Strides?
So I'm kind of in the middle of both what you guys said. I don't think it's too soon because one, it doesn't take that long to make games nowadays. Like there's like a giant team of people making this game for the past like 2 years, according to what people have been saying, and that's a lot of hours. That's actually a very long time. You consider if it's just being 2 years just developing a single game. So I don't think it's too soon. I also think that they will continually like add updates to the game as it goes on because I don't see them releasing 2 Smash games for the Switch. Like I don't think there's going to be this port game and then like later on there's like a whole new developed game. So I just think that as far as like the Switch lifespan goes, they'll just keep updating the Smash Switch game, which makes a lot of sense to me.
I feel that's smart. If they do that with the game, I think it's a really good move for them. I think in terms of PR and marketing, I think the reason we kind of understood that this was going to happen, I felt that this was going to happen. My good friend Joe Phantasma told me that like, I think that they're holding back. So once the Switch came out, a lot of people were wondering like, oh, okay, so we got the Switch, when Smash, that's the first question we all wanted because, Smash on the go, Smash at home, you can just play the game whenever and wherever, and the fact that the Switch was kind of the perfect console for that, it made a lot of sense. And I remember Gerald told me that I don't think Smash is going to happen this year, which was 2017. And the reason is because Nintendo, like we all knew, they launched Nintendo Versus, and that was pretty much their venture into esports in a sense. And they had ARMS, Pokken Tournament, Splatoon, and then they focused on those 3 games. I think, and it's obvious because they knew that if they launched Smash in 2017, it would have just destroyed those games. Like nobody would have probably bought. For sure, nobody would have really played ARMS. It would have been such a niche game.
I am 100% with you there. I definitely I remember when Nintendo Versus came out and those games were announced. It was like they made a banner and there was like an ominous like 4th like slot missing. Right, it was just blank, and that led me to believe like, oh, Smash for sure. Like, but you're absolutely right. They didn't announce it any sooner because then no one would have cared about like the new Pokken, the new ARMS and those other games as well. They wanted to grow those games for sure.
Yeah, but even if you say that, like it just proves the point because as soon as literally Smash 5 was announced at the end of the Direct, no one cared about any of the games that were announced at all. Like I remember they had the whole like Switch Online or Splatoon online thing that they're talking about, event that's happening, like their online tournament, all these like qualifiers for it before the Smash like big announcement, and no one talked about any of that anymore as soon as they saw Smash.
Yeah, I mean, I still think there's a fair amount of people that are excited about it. I think like, the Octo expansion stuff, like I still think that's really, really cool. And there were a lot of really cool things presented, like a lot of really cool ports for the Switch. We're getting Undertale, the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. There's still a lot of stuff there that shouldn't be forgotten, but you're absolutely right. Like they announced Smash and that kind of overshadowed everything. I mean, it was like the #1 like trending thing for the next like 2 days. So,
yeah, it's crazy. Like that just goes to show that Smash is so big. and I'm sure they realized that if they actually did try to make Smash like actual esport and actually poured like their resources into that instead of like Splatoon and Poking and all these things, it could be really big, as you can already see, because they didn't even say anything. They just said Smash Inklings are in it 2018. They gave no real details at all, and then it's already like the most popular thing they've said like since the Switch came out. So
Yeah,
I don't
and
know. That's just how I feel about it.
no, you're totally right. I think that like they didn't even need to really give us like a full blown like. That's why I feel that we were bamboozled in the trailer. We all were. Like I thought it was gonna be a Switch port. I thought it was gonna be a Switch port of Splatoon 1. Like, oh yeah, here's Splatoon 1 for the Switch. Ha ha ha, and no Smash. And then last minute like, oh, it is Smash.
Well,
and I think that trailer is so smart because it's like, go on.
No, I'm sorry. Finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I think that trailer was so smart because Nintendo kind of knew that they didn't even need to give us a full trailer. They just need to tell us, here are the Inklings, two characters that some people requested, you know. Here's Smash 2018. We'll see you at E3. All right, that's it for the show. I think that was so smart. They knew that the internet would tore itself asunder. I mean, we even had I just saw him play today. Jesus Christ, Sonic Fox. We had Sonic Fox tweet about it. You know, somebody who's pretty much an FGC legend, and he's never played, I don't know, to my knowledge, he's never played Smash game competitively. But now, we know that he's like, oh, hey, Smash for Switch.
Yeah, I know. People are talking about it. Like, I know, like, just like more and more FGC people are talking about it. Like, Justin Wong, I know he said, like, I hope that like Smash 4 still has a scene when Switch comes out, and I believe that it will. I mean, the game holds up on its own, unless it's like a true port. Like,
I personally don't think that Smash 4 needs to stay around with the new Switch, because one, the Wii U is like a pointless console. Yeah. I mean, I'm not supposed to say that. Like,
no, it's a prototype, dude. I've been saying that for years. Like, the fucking Wii U is a prototype.
It looked like one too. When it came out, that gamepad is like a Fisher Price toy, dude. Like, you could go like down any aisle at Target and like buy it for your little kid.
Yeah, I honestly feel like, again, since they can just like improve upon Smash 4, like it's probably just going to be like an updated version of Smash 4 that'll continually get updated as far as the Switch goes. Yeah. So I just see logically everyone that plays Smash 4 will just move on to the new game, which that doesn't, to me, that doesn't kill the Smash 4 scene. That just like it's just getting upgraded or something.
I believe so too. I just want to say to your one comment about being bamboozled. As soon as I saw the Inklings, I mean, there were several reasons. Like, one was because, like, I was actually at work, so I didn't get to watch the direct live. My girlfriend, Damaris, like, she sent me a clip of the announcement, and a lot of people were texting me at the same time, and I hadn't looked at any of the context of the text, but I just knew. But as soon as I saw the Inklings and I knew that it was like something else after, like at the very end, I was like, it's Smash. Like, I knew it was Smash. But you're right in that it was really smart the way they did it, because they didn't really they gave just enough information, right? Like, they showed us Breath of the Wild Link, which like now like brings up it gets everyone talking. Like, is it a port? Is it a new game? Are we getting skins? What the hell's the deal? Is that Cappy Mario or is it not Cappy Mario? Because we don't see the friggin' eyes. Like, but
and I love how they did that with Mario. Like, they just showed a very small portion of his hat. Like, they didn't even show. They only showed his face and like the little visor of the hat.
So I think that was cool too. They're so they're self-aware too, because they know that like 90% of people did not care about that direct. Like, they're just like, they're like, yeah, we're just gonna like trick you guys. You guys know, you guys want Smash, but we're gonna show something to make you think like there isn't Smash, and you guys are gonna be all like, dang, they got us a game, no Smash. Next direct.
And that's
like, no, it is Smash.
It's honestly pretty sad, because a lot of people don't care for the directs unless there's Smash news in it. But like, I've always enjoyed like all of the directs, because I think they're pretty like neat. They're like very unique. They're a great way to present like the information, the new games, the updates for like current titles that Nintendo has out. They always do something quirky.
Yeah.
I thought this one in particular, like, they showed a lot of really cool stuff. Like, I actually lost it at the fractured butthole
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I lost it too.
I was like, are you serious? Like they did this? That's amazing.
I kind of popped off.
I'm just being funny with like that comment. I know that a lot of people care about the direct stuff.
No, but I think you're right. I mean, it's a bit of a meme. Like people are like, oh, like no Smash.
No Smash. What's the point of this direct? I kind of popped off when I saw. First of all, I have Undertale on my PC, but I don't have a lot of time to be around my PC. And I was like, oh, sweet. Undertale was one of those games I told people like it should be on Switch. It should be.
I haven't even played it yet, so I'm pumped. I want to, but I actually don't get to sit on my PC like very often.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna play that on the Switch instead of.
Yeah, same thing. I'm gonna play Crash Bandicoot. I don't even have a PS4 anymore. And I was like, are you serious? A character that was originally in a PlayStation console for a Nintendo console.
Yeah, that also opened up a lot of things too. I remember before they even announced Smash, when they showed they showed Crash and Sans. Everyone was just joking that these characters are going to be in the next Smash because they're on a Nintendo console, and then they actually announced Smash, and now everyone's like, oh dang, he really is going to be in Smash, like
100% calculated by Nintendo right now.
Yeah. That just makes me appreciate that they actually are like they're paying attention, but they make it seem like they're not, which is kind of good too, I guess.
Yeah, it just keeps people like hopeful and dreaming and like just using their imagination.
Yeah. And the sky is the limit with all the characters that can come now. That's kind of one of those good deals that we see.
Anything possible.
Yeah, exactly. I think so.
So for Smash, man.
Yeah, that's what I say. And I think this is also a really good move in Nintendo because they kind of have seen that the Nintendo Versus program is there. Oh, excuse me. I had to burp there. But the Nintendo Versus program is there to help them venture into esports a little more. But as we moved in later to 2017 and even 2018, what we did see was Nintendo is there to support the series. The problem is that we have a character that cannot be fully supported by Nintendo. And of course, that character is kind of Cloud because his music and his character as a likeness is all Square Enix. Nintendo, I'm pretty sure when that character came out, they even Sakurai kind of mentioned it like, now that I have Cloud in the game, I can't put Gino, but here's, the costume for the Mii, and we can, finally bring Gino in a sense to Smash. I know he was highly requested, and the reason why Nintendo can support that is that probably costs a lot of money for them in terms of loyalty. Like that's why at like Frostbite and even Genesis, they muted the victory theme for Cloud because Nintendo doesn't have the rights for that. And if they're going to support this game in terms of esports, it's so much for them to just write it on, So I'm pretty sure this is kind of them renewing the license with possibly, Cloud coming out to Smash again. It's possibly them renewing the license for the character, and then now they can finally say, okay, now we renew the license. Now we can support more of that tournament scene for Smash because we don't have to worry about going through all these hoops.
Yeah, it's crazy that just Smash existing as by itself, even without esports and stuff, so much work using all these different IPs. Even within Nintendo, just because they're Nintendo doesn't mean they own all the characters and all the actual properties of the character. So just making Smash by itself is already crazy, and then you throw esports into it, and getting different company sponsors involved, and then you have all this crazy stuff. That's to me, that's probably why Nintendo just there's only so much we can do to actually go in on Smash esports, but it seems to me this year they're getting more and more involved and they're able to do more things. So I think if they're able to do more things, then Smash Switch is a good console, or the Switch in general is a good console for them to do that because it's the most popular console right now.
A small thing that they did that actually isn't a small thing at all is immediately after the Direct, you look at the Nintendo Versus Twitter page and it's been updated to Smash, and that's a little tip of the hat from Nintendo, hey, there may be some things coming,
Yeah, I agree.
And I agree with that too as well. I think they kind of knew that the Nintendo it's so hard for them to support games like ARMS and Splatoon 2 and even Pokken tournament, and it's not that it's hard. I think it's just one of those deals is that there's not as much support. Like, of course, you're here, Stride. So there's no 2GG for Pokken. There is no 2GG for Splatoon 2. There is no 2GG for ARMS. You know, in that sense where those outlets kind of expand that game. Yeah, you guys host ARMS. But like
Pokken has the Pokemon Company, so there's
that. I know they do like their own tournaments, but I don't see I personally don't see those 3 games like go out big. Like I don't see a huge Splatoon 2 tournament. As most of the times that I've been noticing Nintendo versus Twitter is when it's like, oh, we're at Frostbite, 2018, and there is a Splatoon 2 side event, and here we are tweeting about it. But there isn't no like big major like MLG like Splatoon 2 scene. There isn't a big push for like ARMS aside from like Evo this past this year on January. Yeah. So I feel that now Nintendo knows that, like, okay, now that we have Smash out, we can go all in. We can finally, this will be our biggest venture to esports, more so than those 3 other games.
Yeah, it just depends on how they decide to roll it out when it comes out, and like what events they choose to support and actually add their brand to and stuff. Because immediately as soon as they do that, like really do that, I already know that whatever event gets picked for that is just gonna get so many people, even outside of the fact that it's on the Switch and it's a new game.
Yeah. And
that's the best thing about Smash coming to Switch in life.
Yeah.
What exactly?
Yeah, repeat that, Strides?
No. So I'm saying that I think it's good that it's on the Switch and they're like picking the timing now to get involved in esports. Right. Because I feel like whatever event they decide to like actually add their name to when the Switch comes out for Smash will not only get people involved because it's a new Smash game, but also because Nintendo backed it, and that's like a brand new thing for like a lot of people. So I'll get like a lot of new people involved in the game. So I think that's my main thing why I think it's good for them to have Smash on the Switch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when we look at like a lot of the esports teams, we have like teams like Liquid and TSM who are like looking. I mean, Liquid's a few years ago, I never would have thought TSM. I mean, I didn't really watch the league scene, but my friend always talking to me like, "Oh yeah, TSM is one of the biggest names in League of Legends." I would have never thought they would have sponsored somebody from Smash. Never in my life. I would have told them like, "No, dude, you're there." I don't think TSM is even looking at Super Smash Bros. They're probably looking at Melee, but not really Smash 4. And then they picked up Zero, and then Liquid picked up Salem. So we do know that these big esports teams are really enjoying Smash 4, and they're really looking forward towards Smash 5. In terms of that, I think to quote my good buddy again, Gerald Fantasma, he always asks me these questions like, when we do, and I'm glad you're actually here, Strides, when we do have Smash come out for the Switch, how are we going to have to treat it in terms of tournaments, when people bring up their setups? Because like that's a kind of a small issue that I kind of want to talk to you guys about is what are we going to do in terms of security for setups? Like that's such the device literally comes off of the the dock, and there's been times where like I've crashed against my table, and then the dock will wiggle a little bit, and then the tablet will fall off slowly. So like if you have a player who's salty and he like slams a table or something, like that game will pop off from the dock momentarily.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
To me, I can't really say that much right now.
Oh yeah, say as much as you can though. No worries. Say as much as you're allowed to. No worries.
But yeah, we did think about that when we we host Switch events. So we're just trying to make it as like safe as possible for people to bring things, but we also don't want to rely on people to bring stuff. Like we don't want people to feel like they're taking a huge risk bringing Switch to like a tournament because there's like a chance someone will steal it.
Right.
So yeah, that's the thing, but. I don't know. It's gonna provide a whole new different challenge of hosting events because maybe the best thing to do would be to look at events that have like mobile games as like their main competitive game and see how they deal with that, and then we can just take things from that on how we should handle.
I mean, it's something to figure out for sure, but like once tournaments are up and running for Smash Switch, like it's gonna be like resolved. I mean there's you could probably do like some sort of lockbox thing, which like is a bit of an investment, but it's what we got to work with. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely thought about that too. Like, man, the Switch is like it's so hard to get a Switch already, and then you have like a tournament like full of them. Like, that's yeah. So there's a bunch of desperate people out there. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah. Rest assured, we'll make sure that people, if they do decide to bring Switch to a tournament, like as a setup, like take as good care of it as you can.
I mean, something possibility too, like if Nintendo is actually stepping in and supporting the scene, then like maybe we won't have to rely so much on the community to like bring setups.
Yeah, that too.
Like Nintendo might provide their own setups, and like if it's their setups, I guarantee you they're gonna invest in like a system in place so that they're not broken and they're not stolen.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm really looking forward to, because I do think that'll happen, but maybe more down the line when they like more invested in the Smash scene and see that it can work, then they'll start being like, okay, well now we can just put more actual monetary resources into this. Because at the end of the day, Nintendo's still like a huge company, and even if they do have like all this money, it has to make sense. Like they have to like make a profit from it if they're gonna put all this money into things. So I think before they do anything like that, they want to see if supporting tournaments and esports actually like they can gain something from it.
Yeah.
And then if they proves they can, then they'll do more things.
I think as we go on, moving on with the subject here, I do want to talk about like who are your guys' picks to be in Smash.
Character.
Well, we already know. Me and Evan.
Who do you guys want though? I mean, like who is your dream member?
Yeah.
Like the second I saw Cloud in the game, my vote for Smash 4 was Sora from Kingdom Hearts. The second I saw Cloud in the game, I was happy for two reasons, because even though I've never played Final Fantasy VII, I only ever watched my cousins play it growing up. I never had PlayStation as a kid.
Same here, bro. Same here.
But man, that Hispanic struggle, man.
Real talk.
Like I had Nintendo, they had PlayStation.
Yeah, that was me, but for Final Fantasy VIII.
But yeah, so like I understood the like significance of Cloud being in Smash, even though a lot of people were like very upset at first. I remember I even wrote a post on the SoCal page because I was like, you guys like may not care about Cloud yourself, but you have to understand like how monumental it is, because the character is iconic and he's the protagonist of like basically the father of like modern RPGs. So like that's huge, like that's incredible that he's in the game. It's a dream come true to more people than it's not, right?
Yeah.
And seeing Cloud in the game, I'm like, oh my god, they actually put a Square Enix character in Smash. Sora is a very very likely possibility. And I was like, he's gonna be in Smash. I thought he was gonna be in Smash, and I mean, I know he's gonna be in Smash. He's gonna be in Smash for the Switch.
I hope he's in, man, because he's the one character I still really, really want in Smash.
My character crisis is over.
It's gonna be so hard. Like, think about like adding not only Square but Disney.
Yeah, Disney's
Smash and Nintendo. Like, that's just.
I know.
That's three things that
King
you have
Mickey.
to go
I would
through.
love to see King Mickey in Smash.
Assist trophy.
Like, you think it's crazy that like, so Sonic and Cloud can only have those colors because Sega and Square are so specific about how they want the character represented. Can you imagine how specific Disney is about their characters?
Yeah.
Like, it's probably a whole new level.
The good thing about Sora is though that he has tons of outfits.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah. And the music, and then like the stages and the items, it's like, oh my god, there's so many things they have to go through to make Sora happen. But like, I don't know if Cloud can do it.
Yeah, dude, anything is possible.
Yeah, anything is possible. I don't want to be the dream crusher.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Like, so what if it's Disney? You never know what Disney's gonna come up with. Like, yeah, man, sure.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't
Disney ever
want
gets
to.
involved in
Smash
Smash.
was on Disney XD.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
I was so
And
happy when I was able to put it
ESPN.
on TV at the bar, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, who are these people?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, well that's Larry Lair over there. Every now and then he likes to eliminate strides from Mafia, but enough of that story. He's on the TV though. He lives in SoCal, and I had to tell people who each player was. It was really cool.
I never watched the live broadcast of Evo.
I did, dude. I cried.
I cried. I
was
happy.
watching it live, and when I saw D1 and Vicky Kitty on Disney XD, I was like, this is unbelievable. Like my childhood, like I had a whirlwind of emotions like coming at me. I was just like, especially like being a commentator, I was just like, dude, like I've been working like very hard at something that like I love, and I don't do it for pay. Like I don't care about that. But the fact that like I'm seeing like my peers up on this big stage, like doing it in a professional setting for such a huge companies, like companies plural, because it's Disney, it's ESPN, it's Evo, it's everyone that's involved with Evo. And I was just like, this is like a new era. My favorite video game is on the TV right now, and it's being presented to me by like people that I know and people that I look up to. Like I can do this too. Like and I'm sure I'm not the only person who thought that.
I remember watching. I mean, I didn't watch that specific set, but I want to like quote it back. I remember when it was Jesus. I'm going to go back all the way in time. When it was Smash Factor 6, I remember like watching you up there, and I was like, you and Cedric and everybody else, and I was like, dude, I know who Nursemaid is. He's like up there. I want to be up there, you know. And I remember just saying that day, like I'm tired of like watching behind the screen. I want to join in. And I remember like, and then the Nintendo Versus came in and everything. And I remember I had that same reaction you did when you saw Evo on the big screen TV at like, you know, on an outlet like Disney Channel. I think it looks really good for a lot of us that companies are starting to realize like esports is not even $1 million industry. It's $1 billion industry that like not a lot of people are cashing in, and the time to cash in is probably now, you know. And it's really good to see that our peers are moving up to the next level, you know, being a TV caster potentially, you know. So there's a lot to look forward to as we move on with, especially now Smash 5. It's a whole new game, dude, and it's so much to come to.
Yeah, there's just a lot of possibilities for that, like, you know, to get involved with esports, and then by getting involved with esports, they get involved with all these other different companies, and possible.
Yeah, to end off the Smash 5 talk, and I mean, I don't want to like say Sora's not gonna come. I know that like if he does come, I hope he does. I'm actually keeping my fingers crossed too.
Telling you right now, bet how much you want to put on it.
Man, if they put Sora in Smash, it better be after they announce Kingdom Hearts 3 on Switch.
Oh my god, dude, I love that because I obviously thought about that. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out this year too, and I would get it on the PS4 and the Switch. And
I would actually get it on both consoles.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat, dude. I buy it on all three. I want to
play it everywhere, wherever the fuck I go. Like, I want to play it on my PlayStation at home. The best thing they could possibly do, and I don't know how probable this is, if there's some sort of like save, like transfer, where I could like play on my PS4 at home in HD, and then like, oh man, I gotta go, you know, just save my game, and then like I'm on the metro on the way to work.
Well, wouldn't you just be able to
left off, like on the Switch?
Wouldn't you just be able to get like, well, I don't know. I don't think you could transfer save data from different.
No, I mean, there's nothing like that yet, but you can't say it's not possible. Because
it's really possible because if we look at several games that are coming out, I mean, I hate this game so much, but I play it. Fortnite, like that game is pretty much multi-platform, and it's now available to play on your PS4, your phone, your PC. For Christ's sakes, it's available on your phone, your PC, your PS4, and it all contains the same profile you have. So what they could probably do is come up with an infrastructure that you can download the game to the cloud in a sense, or Square Enix's server, and then they can able to reconvert it, you know, to the Nintendo device, and then you can pretty much take that same save file anywhere you go.
That makes sense. Yeah. Hopefully they do that. Because that's the only way I've seen them, and I was like, sorry, Smash.
Dude.
If it's on the Switch.
Well, get ready for Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Switch, buddy. Like, it's gonna happen.
I hope it does. I mean, I hope there's a lot. I know there's a lot of several hoops. I know Disney's super protective with that IP, so much that they like if you try to stream the game and you do the opening songs for like 1, 2, and all the other ones, your PS4 actually stops you from streaming the song. I know that for sure. Like you can't find the opening video for Kingdom Hearts anywhere because Disney has that unlocked. It's like a specific thing to like Disney Japan, so they're super like under wraps about how they do that.
You can still get it through the capture card. I mean, they did the same thing with block. So like, it'll say like.
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut off. Which one?
For Persona 5.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they had a block on like being able to stream it for a while, and like when you start a game and it loads a cutscene, a message pops up that says like PS4 screen share or whatever, stop recording.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's pretty exciting to think about all this stuff.
And to move on from that subject, I'm just going to really touch upon it really quick. I think another game, we will obviously be getting Virtual Console this year. It's already pretty much confirmed. I think we're going to also be getting Melee next year for the Switch. I think it's going to be the anniversary for Smash Bros. As a series. Yeah, and I think it's a very high chance that we could be getting Melee for the Switch.
Smart move.
Yeah. If they do that.
Melee, no CRT?
Yeah, they should do that only because it would be good for the Smash community because everyone can just finally be on one console.
Yeah.
And it makes sense too because, like I said, the anniversary is technically next year for the day Smash for 64 launched. The anniversary, I think it's this year or it's next year. So I know that Nintendo can be like, hey, it's the 20th anniversary of Super Smash Bros. 20 years of this game. We have a new game coming out, but we also look into the past and we have Melee coming out, which is the biggest game, we've had. I mean, for Christ's sake, it's a 17-year-old game that's still number one, and it's the most esports game of the series since, its launch. So I think that makes sense that they'll put Melee on the Switch at some point within next year or this year.
Yeah, it would make a lot of money.
That's money, man. That's like literally like they took a money printer and they just like cashed out.
All right, well, that's it for my topic. I want to hop over to your topic, Nursemaid. What's your topic today?
So, I mean, we might as well just talk about like my topic and the question of the like day. Like I didn't really prepare like.
Oh yeah, no problem. Let me actually look it up right now.
But what I wanted to talk about was basically like, SoCal Smash PR. We're getting around that point where it's probably being like finalized and people are speculating like who are these new up and comers who's gonna make it onto hasn't been on the PR before, and we have a lot of names that Candy and Orochi Wolf and Aimer, and like these are people who at one point were considered hidden bosses, which I think is the question that we were asked is like who are some of SoCal's hidden bosses. And I mean, I just want to know what you guys think and who you guys were looking out for in particular. For me, my personal like favorite like story of this like season, so to speak, is Orochi Wolf. And like I guess I could call it a little bit biased because Orochi Wolf was one of the first people that like I met in the community, and this was like currently I live in Pasadena, but I come from the Inland Empire, which is a bit of an infamous region here in SoCal.
Oh yeah.
Never sleep on the IE, man. That's what they say. Never sleep.
But low-key,
is its own region.
That's the funny part. It's like it's such a meme in itself because it's like the IE actually has a lot of really talented players. The problem is a lot of them are like very young, so
and
they
lazy.
actually can't travel because they don't drive themselves. They can't get rides. Their parents won't let them, whatever. And like the IE is a very like kind of like separated. It's kind of far away from everything else. Like people, when you tell people like, hey, like, where do you live? And you say the Inland Empire, a lot of people look at you like it's a different country. Like, yeah. I mean, when I told people in college that I lived in Rancho Cucamonga, They either laughed in my face because they thought I was like making a name up, like making it up, like oh, or they were like, oh, haha, like workaholics. Like workaholics was the only reason why people knew like Rancho Cucamonga. And it's frankly, the Inland Empire is a bit of like a weird area. Like it's nowhere. It's like not like anywhere else in SoCal. It's got its own different type of people out there, like its own like culture. It's pretty interesting. But back to what I was saying, Orochi Wolf, I met him in the Inland Empire, and back then I was still maining Mega Man, and he actually like revolutionized like how I played Mega Man by just teaching me like one simple thing. You know, like one of Mega Man's like strong tools in his neutral is using like pellets, and in particular like short hop pellets, because they have knockback, especially up close. They have a decent knockback, and they interrupt everything. Like, so before I was basically doing short hop pellets by pressing A and then or by jumping and then pressing A. So sliding my button from jump to A, and then he told me, oh, you should actually just slide from A to jump, because it does literally the exact same thing. It doesn't. It's not really like that with like every character, because if you press, because Mega Man's neutral air and his jab are the exact same move, like literally the exact same move, which is not the case with a lot of other characters. And I was just like, oh my god! At this point, I've been playing the game for like I don't know, like a couple months, and I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, you just changed my gameplay. But yeah, back then he was a PM player. He only played PM. He had Smash 4, but he only had it on the 3DS. He didn't own a Wii U, and he didn't own a Wii U until November of last year. So just a couple months ago. Yeah, and that's when we started to see Orochi Wolf actually coming out to MSM, coming out to Hat, and like I don't know if he goes to WNF, but he's been going consistently to all these other tournaments that like he was never at before, and he's actually like taken names. I think he beat Void. I believe he's beat K9, which was like one of his demons. He would always like show up to a LAN hero back when it was at Quickly Cafe.
I remember that.
And every time it was like round 1 or 2 paired off against K9, which was unfortunate for him because he's like a really talented player with good fundamentals. But he would end up fighting someone who was like playing the game every day, and he was just like even before he started actually grinding the game, and he started grinding, he's a disciple or a pupil of Scizor, who is also from the Inland Empire, one of the best links in the world. I'm telling you, dude, like you actually can't sleep on the IE. Like you got
only
Scizor.
Only thing I say about IE is I'll say this about IE. It's not that I think their players are bad. It's that attitude. It's that no one cares that you guys are from IE because you don't go to anything. You can't think you're good if you don't go to anything and beat anyone.
That's why I always kind of egg them on. I mean, I created the Inland Empire Smash 4 Facebook page. Like there was nothing that this was during a time when I was still living in the IE, and I wanted to grind more, and I wanted to play with people, and I wanted to find people near me. And it was so difficult because even in the IE back then, like now it's grown to where there's more like local tournaments and like people actually play. But back then when the game first came out, like I would post like, hey, who wants to like play? I want to host a fest. Who wants to come? Nothing. And I was just like, dang, like you guys don't care. Like y'all are lazy. Like, and so I was actually traveling to FAD like 2 times a week.
Yeah, I remember.
Living in the Inland Empire, which is like an hour, almost a 2-hour drive.
I remember. I think the only like maybe local the IE had was like a Kotu when that was going on.
That's not even the IE.
No, Kotu is not IE.
I didn't even know what that was. I just knew it was like an IE.
Kotu is like Orange County. It's like 5 minutes from esports.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's I like IE, and I know Orochi for a while actually. I know him from like as Brawl because he was one of those like Wi-Fi players that didn't go to anything, but he was good. Like rarely went to anything. So like for him being good is not really surprising me. It's just that he's finding an opportunity to actually practice the game.
No, exactly. I mean, it was never a surprise to me that he met him and I saw how strong he was. And it's just interesting because I always try to bring that up, especially when he started coming to tournaments. I always try to bring up that he is actually a really strong player that just didn't get to come out to much. And so like that's just like cool for me to see because I'm just like, oh, like I always enjoyed Orochi Wolf. He just didn't really get to play much, so he didn't really have like all the combos down or like the neutral down.
Yeah, but now his combos are actually stupid.
Yeah.
Like, his combos are stupid.
His Sonic, at least in SoCal, to me is like one of the exciting Sonics to watch.
I
like,
think
same
so
thing
with Meteor too. Who's also.
Oh yeah. The last time I went to like a Falcon Punch Fridays, Meteor played, and I had never had I usually never cheer against K9, but that was like the one time that I for sure, and I was commentating that match, I for sure was going for Meteor because I was like, dude, this is the funnest Sonic I've ever seen, and I love Orochi's game plan because I've never really seen it per se, but I know some Sonics do it. He'd go for like the spring ride and then he'd go for up air. And if that missed, he just goes for an immediate downer to cover that. So it's like he's almost borderline frame chopping you with his moves. And that's the one thing I loved about him.
He plays, I don't know if I should say it's aggressive, but
I would say so.
He wants to hit you. I can tell that from playing him and like watching him play a lot now. It's like he's not really opting to just play super defensive and have a game plan and time you off from the start. He's like literally, as soon as the match starts, he's in your face. And if he hits you,
Which is like the number one complaint from people about Sonic. Like, you know, and you can't really fault Sonic players for abusing like the best thing in his toolkit, like, which is like a godlike, the ability to get in and out fast, get damage, run away. I mean, honestly, if people played the character as lame as possible, because people still aren't really like playing Sonic as lame as they possibly could be.
Yeah,
like, he's like a top 3 character. Like, you know, I want to say like top 2, but you know, people will try to burn me at the stake.
I know Japan has like really high opinion of Sonic. They consider him at least like for that exact reason.
Yeah, of course. They have like Como and Ken over there, and two of the best Sonics in the world in one region.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys didn't know, the question originally was, so let me just go ahead and bring it up so we can continue bringing our opinions to it. So Andrew Muniz asks, who are the biggest hidden bosses in SoCal currently? And of course, Nursemaid's story is Orochi Wolf. I don't have one per se. If I were to name one, like, I would guess hidden boss, I can't really give you one right off the bat, but I will tell you 2 of them who I think are possible. One of them is already PR, and the other one is kind of an unknown one. I know some people kind of see him as memes because he loves memes and he is a meme person in a sense. So yeah, he is a meme. I think he's a meme. But I think for my first pick, it's going to be Razo. I think Razo is definitely a player that we haven't seen too much of as of late. I know he's got things focused in school and things like that. But Razo is such a powerful player. I mean, he came out to like MSM and he just destroyed. He took away K9's chance to pretty much knock out Fallen from his streak, and then that's pretty much big for me. And then not only that, he removed Fallen's streak when nobody else would. You know, and I feel
that was the first time you ever played versus Fallen.
Yeah, and that was the first time. And not only that, like, I haven't seen Razo go out too many. I haven't noticed, at least.
Yeah, he's been more inactive lately. He's been busier with life, I suppose. But yeah, I wouldn't call Razo like a hidden boss anymore. He's already PR'd at this point. Like, people.
Yeah, he was like the 2 seasons ago, like actual hidden boss.
Yeah.
Like, so I just wanted to call him anything before the Arcadian. And he got top 8.
Honestly, even 2 seasons or 3 seasons ago, I wouldn't even like call him a hidden boss because he kind of just like Razo was like there and he was like a resident Peach main, but then he like I don't know. He started putting in the work, like his mentality or whatever, like improved. Primarily, he started putting in the work because, like, you would see his Twitter videos of him like showing off these amazing like turnip lock combos and like 0 to death shenanigans, but like he went from just being there to like just constant improvement, but it just like never stopped. Like it got to the point where it was like, you know, because some people they're like they're there and then they improve and then they kind of like plateau, and it's like, oh, now they're like a really solid player, where like before they were going 0-2. Like, but Razo, like, while I wouldn't say he was going 0-2, I don't really remember that per se. I doubt it, but he went from being there to being a really solid player to being like, I mean, I would say
I think he's top 10 actually.
He's a top player because
like, he's top 10 right now currently.
He in SoCal, right? And that says a lot in a region that a lot of people consider like one of the strongest in the world. I would go so far as to argue that Razo is a top player, like not just in SoCal, just period. He just hasn't gotten out there. Like he stays in SoCal.
And that makes sense. We're so blessed with like 2GG. I remember like I talked to Con and he said like, I don't want to travel anymore because I have a risk of like not even making top 32. Why should I go spend my hard-earned cash on a plane flight and a housing to like a place that I might not do well at? It's just easier for me to just wait for a 2GG and I could just drive like X amount of minutes from my own home to the 2GG. And that makes a lot of sense. I think Razo doesn't travel as much. I know Razo even took Samsora to like, I think game 5 at a tournament before.
You mean Salem?
Salem. Yeah, Salem. So that's really saying a lot. My next player for that.
Yeah, for me, Razo was cool because his previous best placement was actually Breakthrough 1. Like before that, like he hadn't gotten top 8 like anything, not even a local. And then after that, he just started being a consistent like top 8 player at locals, and then he got ranked, and then like he won his first MSM, and he went from bottom of the PR to top 10 with Solo Peach, and now people think he's like potentially the best Peach.
No, I would say so.
I'd say that.
I think that's pretty freaking crazy. Yeah. But I don't consider him like, I guess you can still call him like a hidden boss, but not in SoCal.
Not in SoCal. I think in terms of like PGR overall, I think he's the hidden boss. But my actual hidden boss pick is going to be Soko. This dude kind of came from Fire and Dice, and I remember back in the day, and he still does now. He made Puff, and he was just giant memes like all over. I remember going to Fire and Dice, and he was there, and he was just memeing around with Puff. And I remember he took like a lot of sets off people, and people were like genuinely upset. And I remember, can't remember who told him like, dude, you should just pick up Mewtwo. He came back 2 weeks later, and he placed so high with Mewtwo. I think he upsetted someone on Fire and Ice. And since then, like, he's just put in so much work that, like, that's why I remember some people like, who's Soko? Like, nobody put him in their, like, top 8 picks. But I was like, dude, Soko has the highest chance to actually win this. Coming from Fire and Dice, where you have to fight Zenyu, Nico, and K9 in the same venue. And then you have to worry about Charlie, who shows up every now and then.
Yeah, it's basically him and Sim, though.
Yeah.
I think
he just doesn't go to anything outside of Fad, so that's why no one. Like, Fad's cool and all, but like no one really watches Fad as much as like.
Yeah. It's. I mean, like you see a lot of high-profile people like in the chat. So like people who like are actually genuinely like care about like top-level Smash, high-level Smash, like. They know about Fad and they're watching Fad.
Yeah,
but you're right. It doesn't have the draw that like 2GGs have, that MSM and Wednesday Night Fights have, and you know holiday action Tuesdays now. But you're absolutely right that like people didn't know about Soko. I mean, I honestly didn't know about Soko. I knew the name and I'd probably seen his Puff before, but it was when I was doing research for Breakthrough that I reached out to Zan and I was like, oh, look, who are some of these people in the pool? And he was like, oh, Soko. He told me. So like coming into Breakthrough, I always when people were like, whoa, who's Soko? He's doing so well. Like I knew because I had done my research, and like Zan had told me like he had reached like grand finals, like, and even beat Nico. Like, as you know, you don't just like beat Nico. Like,
Yeah, that's the funny thing about it. Like, nobody just beats Nico. I mean, it's the dominant three at Fad coming from there myself. It's like Nico, K9, and every now and then, like, you'll see Key do, even Key. Like, Key will do, like, he'll get second or third. I haven't seen him win a Fad as of late, but I know, like, even Key has a hard time winning Fad. But it's usually, like, Nico, K9, or Zenu. I mean, I haven't seen K9 at Fad because I haven't been there personally in a while. But I do know that that's the three hardest people to beat in SoCal. And Nico is such a life liver. Like, you take this man to 206% and he's still not gone. So to win a Fad against Nico, dude, that's claps, you know?
That's Donato's power, dude.
My opinion on that is SoCal will continue to stay hidden boss because he can't go to anything other than Fad.
Yeah.
And he's not consistent enough to do well at Fad. Like, I know he's good, but he doesn't consistently like get in the top spots. Like, being, I think Dynamo is like the consistent, not like top player at Fad.
But yeah, I think he is.
But yeah, he's good, but he's like 10 or something. So he can't.
Everyone below 18 after you turn like 22 is just 10 or 12.
Yeah. But so that's his thing. Like, he actually has like parents who will be like, you need to be home at like 9 at the latest. So you're definitely not going to tournament in Santa Ana.
For sure.
So for me, he's good, and I hope he keeps playing, especially when Smash 5 comes out, and they get bigger like opportunities for him to like play better players.
Yeah.
Like, if he was going to like NSM and all these other tournaments consistently, probably would be on the PR, or at least contingent for PR next season. So,
I know it has to do a lot with that, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say he's a hidden boss, and unfortunately, until like things change, like, he literally becomes older, he probably will not get that many opportunities to go past like the hidden boss thing, which is kind of unfortunate because I feel like he's the same case as Razo from last season or last breakthrough. Not Candy. I actually think Sogo was the person that had like potential to go from like completely bottom of like SoCal, like off the radar player, to potential like top 10 player.
Yeah.
Same thing with Eon, actually. Eon was also
Eon.
in that top 8 at breakthrough.
Now I'm curious, who do you I mean, you're kind of already telling us, but like, who do you think, Strides, is your pick for hidden boss of SoCal?
Hidden boss right now, actually, I think Aladdin's best hidden boss.
I was gonna say Aladdin too.
I've not actually even heard of him too. Actually, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. So I think Aladdin.
He's the best hidden boss because I haven't heard of him yet.
Yeah, because one, I remember he only went to non-sanctioned tournaments in SoCal, and he was winning them all, and everyone was just like, this guy should start going to like actual big tournaments like NSM and all these other tournaments because he's actually really good. And I played him, and he's really solid. And I watched him play all these other players, and he's also like really doing well. I hardly see him just flat out get like destroyed by anyone, like the top players. Like, if he's playing versus like K9 and those guys, he's like really close, or he's like really close to winning.
Yeah.
And he's using, I think he uses Marth, Lucina, and like sometimes Cloud. And I think, Lucina's like a character that just do really, really well in SoCal, I feel. Like, it's a very like stable character, and there's just a lot of people that don't really play Lucina that much.
Absolutely.
So if he gives more opportunities to play like better players and actually like prove that he can win, I think he's also one of those people that would be PR next. So I think if he also goes to more events, right now he's only going to Hat. If he starts going like to MSM consistently, he's like fights here and there.
I think past Hat?
Season. Yeah, and I think he got like 5th. He beat Jump Steady. I remember that. I think it was like 2-0.
Yeah.
And Jump Steady is the person that's going to be ranked next season. So that should tell you already.
Yeah, that's true.
He definitely plays a lot too, because I've been like jumping on like Anthers ladder recently. I actually haven't gotten too many matches on there. I just like get we're talking about Vlad and Stitch for you're just tuning in. But he's always like he's been on there every time. So he's not just like out there unsanctioned tournaments and now going to like sanctioned tournaments, but he's like also on the Wi-Fi grind, like
Yeah.
and like it on Anther's ladder where it's like competitive, like he's not on glory, like
yeah. So I think he's actually the real like hidden boss right now in SoCal. The rest of them are just like people that I guess you didn't know about them, but now they already had like their breakout performance, and they're probably gonna get ranked next season.
Yeah, I mean, mine was Candy. I'm not like a personal huge fan of him, but I do know like when I first saw this guy at Fire and Dice, and not only that, like I started going out to, as you guys might have seen, I go into a lot of tournaments consistently, like trying to commentate, and like just about every bracket that I would look at when I would do like my bracket research, he was like there all the time. He was like at every tournament, like for
he goes to everything.
2 weeks.
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys that goes to everything, which is why he's like gotten so good.
Mm-hmm. And I think he even shot from like being literally hidden boss to probably top 10 in SoCal. I honestly think.
Honestly, I think he shot from being not even a hidden boss to like being like all of a sudden he's like beating everyone. I'm like, what?
He beat Eon, I think.
I remember because I remember the first hat where I saw him like playing really well. I forgot who he was playing. It was someone PR'd in SoCal. It was probably like K9 or Nico. But you know, I had played him before like a while back, and I remember thinking like, you know, he's pretty good with Fox, but he's still like he was still suffering from like Fox syndrome where you're like dash attacking on shield and like getting punished for it. And then like, you know, I kind of just thought like, oh, he's one of those Foxes, but it was like a couple months ago or whenever it was that recently that I saw him at Hat, and I was just like, whoa, he's like really giving it to these players right now. He's like, man, what happened? Like he just shot up, like because he had like, as we mentioned before, he'd been going to everything, so it's like it's not like I saw like a steady like improvement where it's like, oh, like he did better this time, and then the next time he did even better. It was just like to me at least from my perspective, it was like, oh, like Candy, like yeah, he's a SoCal player.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, boom, Candy in your face all the time now because he's top 8ing everything. Like I was just like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah. But I just feel like that's mainly due to the fact that he literally goes to everything.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Like it's one thing to keep playing like friendly matches or just like training mode or even online. But like if your main source of practice is always like tournament matches, like all the time, like 5-6 times a week, that's like a really good way to get good really fast. So yeah, I wasn't surprised really to see that Candy's doing well, because I feel like if you like work that hard at something that consistently, there should be at least some improvement. But that's good for him, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely, I agree. I think he's a player that, I mean, when I saw him, I think he beat Eon recently, and when I saw him beat K9, I was like, dude, this is just. I mean, Larry's not really. I haven't seen Larry too much at locals at all, and I'm pretty sure he will be. I don't know if he's going to be ranked at all. I don't know how that system works.
No, he will be ranked because he just has
out of tourney, yeah. So
he beat Larry too. Like Larry went like 80 Kong or Meta Knight or some other character, but like that still counts as a PR win.
Yeah, I think I have a strong case. Like if we weren't to take it into situation, I think Fallen will probably be like within top 3, top 2.
No, like, Fallen's guaranteed number one.
Yeah, I believe so. Like that's what I said. I felt that like Fallen's probably the best player. His like 13 streak win was just incredible, and I mean Fallen beats a lot of people. He never like loses to any rando per se. So I feel that Fallen's gonna be like that high placing in terms of the PR. I know Candy's gonna be like easy top 10. I believe so because he's just
not top 10. I don't think. I think
top 10?
The bottom 20 area. Maybe like 15, 17.
For the PGR?
No.
Wait,
for SoCal.
For SoCal PR.
Who? I thought we were just talking about Fallen.
No, so Fallen will be number 1 in SoCal.
Yeah, that's undisputed for sure.
Not even just local results. He's placed higher than any SoCal player at Genesis.
Yeah.
He's actually the highest placing SoCal player. and I'm pretty sure that's like the only big major that other SoCal players have gone to. Like I don't think Zinyu got top 8 at EO Japan.
No.
AC actually plays higher than Zinyu there, so he'll probably also have a decent boost on his ranking, even if he doesn't go that much.
Yeah, I can see Candy probably like.
Yeah.
I want to say 15th. I don't think it's gonna be 20. I don't think it's gonna be bottom 20, but I think 15th.
I think 15th or maybe even lower than that, like 16th. Terminator is also doing really well too.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's been coming out to a lot of stuff. I want to see. I can probably see Dynamo coming back onto the PR for sure because he has wins on like Void.
Actually, yeah, Dynamo will be 15th. Never mind.
Yeah.
Forgot. Dynamo 15th, Candy like maybe 16th, then like Terminator or Rochi Wolf.
Oh, thank you so much, Stitch. He told us.
Pivots, man.
Yeah, dude, I can hear him too.
Ran away.
Who are gonna be like, are they guys playing and talk at the same time and be like, nah, dude, just try it. He's on the grind.
Pros. We're all masters.
Oh yeah, we are. That's how it works. You gotta be a master of this game to commentate. Thank you so much, Stitch. He's telling us that Zinyu got 49th, I believe, at Japan Evo.
Yeah.
So.
With no real wins either.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Vaughn guaranteed number 1 SoCal. Like, there's only 1 week left before the ranking. There's nothing anyone can do to beat his results right now.
Yeah, and even Fallen mentioned to me about that too.
Yeah, so that's congrats to Fallen. First time being ranked number 1 SoCal.
Props off to him, dude, because I know he even told me about it earlier. Like in the SoCal Smash League, I do believe, looking at it right now, if I can pull it up, I do believe Fallen is actually second, and that's only because like K9 is the same situation as like Candy, where like K9 goes to consistently every single tournament. So that's why like K9 is actually number 1. And he has much more points than Fallen because he goes to like every single tournament as much as possible. And Fallen's second. But if you look at Fallen's wins, like his wins are big because he's always getting like, he had that 13 streak. He's only like about, I'd say 3,000 points difference between him and K9 in the SoCal Smash League. So Fallen for sure, the only thing that's stopping him is like, there's nothing stopping him at this point. He's probably number 1.
He's guaranteed number 1. There's actually like literally nothing that can happen that will make him not number 1. In 1 week, like there's nothing that.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks, I guess.
I think it's like 2 weeks. I want to say it's 2 weeks. Let me look at my calendar over here. Yeah, so it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks.
I don't know, man. I don't know what anyone can do in 2 weeks.
Nothing, dude. I mean. Fallen can't. The only thing Fallen told me is like he's having a hard time. It's just like he can only go to like the Trident Smash when that happens, and he can only go to MSM. He can't really go to like anything else because that's so much gas money for him to like drive from San Diego to like per se Hat, because that's even farther. Sure. So that's.
I guess what will have to happen was like Fallen will have to place last for the next 2 weeks, losing to literally everyone, and yeah. Then I could see him not being number 1.
Yeah, and even then, I don't think that's going to impact him as much.
He'll probably just be like 4th or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, and that brings me up to a slightly side subject. I don't want to get too brief into. I know Fallen probably will have 2 tournaments to go to because I know FPF is going to be in the esports arena starting in, I believe, the end of March.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Fallen will have a little more chances too. I'm pretty sure that will be part of the.
I wonder though. I'm not sure. Like, are we gonna continue the Smash League after this period's over?
I don't know. I thought you would know, Mr. 2DG.
Yeah, I probably should ask that.
Why are you asking us?
Yeah, I was like, why are you asking us?
I wasn't really asking you guys. I was just kind of thinking out loud.
I know.
I hope it does. I hope it does though. It's
because it seemed like it was really successful, and it got a lot of people like interested in going to tournaments more.
I'm sure with whatever Champ is planning with like his inner self, I guess, if he's not telling you.
I just didn't ask. Honestly, I probably should just ask.
I'm pretty sure he's planning something. I know. Aren't we supposed to be getting like some kind of like invitational after the SoCal Smash League, right?
Well, yeah, that's what it leads up to.
Yeah, so I know Champ is like players. Champ is asking himself like, okay, because he's not telling you obviously, but he's probably asking himself like, okay, what's gonna be the next big thing after SoCal Smash League. It'll probably be SoCal Smash League V2. More tournaments will be added from more players.
Yeah, there already was one that was added. Dream Catch.
Yeah. To bring a little marketing into that, yeah, DCG has been announced as one of the other tournaments you can go to. It specifically works for people like in the Valley, like myself, who can easily just go to there instead of WNF. So I know 2GG will be looking, especially Champ, he'll be looking to add more like locals, and in that term, I even think Champ will probably do Infinity Saga this year. I think it's a possibility. I think because
how'd you get from the Smash League to Infinity Saga?
I don't know. Okay, hold on.
Are you trying to like get some information out of me or something?
No.
Squeeze the juice.
Come on, man. we said nothing about Infinity Saga.
No, man. I think the only reason why I mentioned it is because I know Infinity War. I saw the Infinity War trailer and it released today, and I was like, "Oh, dude, this thing is so hype." So I'm like, maybe we'll probably see Infinity Saga this year because it's the last year for Smash 4.
Comment.
No comment. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't even worry about it.
Be talking about this.
Just teaser if we put it in there. Yeah, next question. Next topic, which is your topic, Strides. I want to know what your topic.
Wait, what? How do you get a topic?
I didn't have a topic. I knew it.
I knew it. Come on, bro. What? Oh my god.
No, to be fair, he was brought on late, and
he
was. We didn't tell him that he had to have a.
Yeah, guys, I'm not throwing under a bus.
Yeah, if you hold on to just explain. So if you guys don't know, I'll casually explain. But Dynamo is actually going to be our third seed today for this week's show. Unfortunately, he is actually not unfortunately. It's a good thing he actually is going to rise.
I hope he gets top 8.
Yeah. I know a lot of people from SoCal looking forward to Rise, especially Jumps today. He's like, dude, I finally don't have to meet X person and X person in like the beginning of bracket. Finally, like a bracket without this person. So I know a lot of people from SoCal are looking forward to just actually playing different players and going to Rise. So definitely cheer him on. I'm definitely going to cheer on Dynamo. And of course, you were brought in to help us out with the show. So thank you so much, guys. Do you have a topic though at all? Have you thought of anything?
Literally, no.
Off the cuff, man. Off the cuff.
Alright.
Yeah.
Like a topic for Smash 4.
Okay, go ahead.
To relate to SoCal?
Nah, just pick one.
No, just pick one, dude. It could, like, for your topic, I try to keep my topic towards SoCal and specifically, but I decided to play devil's advocate this week, be the Smash 5 person. I know Nursemaid, he wanted my topic, but I'm glad he picked his topic because his topic is really, really SoCal, and I like this story about Orochi. But just off the bat, it could be anything in terms of like Smash in general, because that also sometimes it does come around and affect SoCal.
Okay, maybe I've been thinking about this lately. So, what do you guys actually feel about the state of events in Smash or as a whole? Because last year there was an event every month, and now there's like a big event every like few months. Actually, Frostbite might have been the last one, which was February. Yeah.
I think right now it's moving at a good pace, but even I think it's just the season because it's like last year there was a big event every month, primarily because like 2GG was hosting a saga every month, and on top of that there was like all the other tournaments that were going on. But like where it really started to get like, oh my god, like it was during the summer, which is like when everyone's off of school, and it just kind of makes sense. And even looking at the calendar for this year, like those 3 months, like you're looking at June and July, and I'm just like, holy crap, there's so many events. Like me thinking like I want to go to these events because I want to try and commentate at these events.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, how am I gonna make this work? Like there's like Smash Factor, there's CEO, there's MomoCon, there's
Hyrule
Saga,
yeah,
there's Combo Breaker, and these
Smash
are all,
and Splash 4.
Yeah, these are all within weeks of each other. Like, and and these are all like big high profile events. Some might be slightly bigger than the others, but these are all events that like have like some sort of legacy. Like we've had them the past 2 or 3 years, and people are like they know about these events, and they hear about this event and they think, oh, I want to go to that event next year. Like,
yeah,
it's just like shit, how are you gonna go to all these events? So, like loaded or sponsored, like you're not. So that's a little bit rough, but like it's like there's gonna be a good amount of people at any of those events because they all, even though there's gonna be a good amount of people that travel to the events, like they're all technically catered more specifically to the local regions or the nearby neighboring regions. So like they're still gonna get a big draw regardless of who's flying in. And for that reason, I just think I think the state of events right now is like, as long as it's not every month. I mean, the summer is one thing. Like,
yeah.
That's just gonna happen because everyone's on vacation, off of school. They want to throw more tournaments. They want to play more.
Better player attendance too.
Yeah, but right now, like I like the pace it's going. It's like there's, even if there is some overlap between like two events, like I think it was last weekend, there's like
EGLX.
Yeah, EGLX and Midwest Mayhem at the same time.
Two good tournaments too.
But they're in two different places, right? I mean, they're kind of close to each other, I guess.
Yeah.
Chicago, Canada.
Yeah, but exactly. Like it's like, you know, people in Canada aren't like, they're just gonna stay in Canada. Like Chicago are gonna go to the Chicago tournament.
Small question about that. Why was it called Europe? I know it's like MM11 European something.
They had a lot
because there was European qualifiers for top players to go to that tournament.
Yeah, I totally did not follow that at all. I was just like, I don't know why it's called this, but I do like the fact that it is. I know that like EGLX and that was last month, and I did like how they ended at different times, so I was still able to tune in like to one and then tune into the other.
Yeah. Oh yeah, another thing since you brought up that tournament, what do you guys feel about Zero commentating now?
Okay.
Because I personally think that
you loved it.
I think every commentator should quit top eights and let Zero commentate everything.
All right. So I mean, I think
I love Zeros.
I think
good.
His content is phenomenal. Obviously,
I agree.
He has the game knowledge, and I just like he's not a commentator, so like. And that's, for all intents and purposes, like that was his first time commentating, so he doesn't really have like the skill set that like most commentators have developed yet. So like if he wants to keep commentating, like sure, like that'll be great. But personally, like I enjoyed hearing the information, but at times it was a little much. Like I understand why you like it, and the reason why I like it, but I'm just like thinking, I'm trying to like look at it from the perspective of other people who aren't like so in depth with the game, like, and they're just trying to like spectate it and like maybe learn a few things. But it's like when he's talking about every single interaction, like that's a lot for people to absorb, and especially if they're not like at the level where they can understand all of that just yet. And it's just like, well, what the hell's going on? And I mean I was looking at the Twitch chat and people were loving his commentary, and they even thought he was hype, and he's genuinely like getting excited about the game. And I thought it was a little much, like he was screaming a lot. But like, you know, that's just kind of like he had the habits that a beginning commentator had, like interrupting your co-caster a little bit too much, like but that's like stuff that goes away when you like commentate a lot. So if he keeps doing it, I mean, he's gonna be great. But like that's only natural because it's like, for one, you were the best player in the world, so you have the insight of a top player, and because of that, you have the knowledge. And when you have the game knowledge, like it's pretty easy to talk about the game. Like, you know, like other commentators who aren't so. Like I'm still learning about the game. Like, so I have to find ways of talking about the game and like making the game exciting without necessarily like knowing every single interaction, which personally I still think like even if I did know everything about the game, like even if I had Zero's knowledge, like I would go about it differently. Like I wouldn't talk about every single interaction the way he did.
Yeah.
And because I think like I'm trying to cater. It all depends on who you're trying to cater to as well. Like I'm trying to cater to people who aren't like a top player. Like and it's like it's funny to see like top players' opinions on commentators. They do gravitate towards these people who can like spit out like knowledge because like that's what they want. But like not everyone watching actually 80%, 90%, like 95% of the people watching are not top players. So like that's how I feel about that. But yeah, I mean, like I was enjoying the commentary. I was still like in my own mind, I was still criticizing the things that like his flaws as a commentator, but I was enjoying the commentary because like it's Zero and he knows what he's talking about, and like it showed.
I'm in the same boat as you. I think when it came down to Zero's commentary, I really enjoyed it a lot. I liked how he was going off and just saying things like why he did it and how he did it and why he went for it. I do like that. I think when I do commentary, I try to be analytical as possible as I can be. That's what I try to do. I'm still like I'm kind of in the same boat where I'm trying to still learn as much of the game as possible. You know, I'm still learning the game myself. There's some things I don't even know of. When it comes down to it, I try to balance what people like and what people don't like, and then what people enjoy or are used to seeing. I think when we look at commentators as a whole, we have people, and I think I described this to Shinta recently. I think the reason why TK, Breezy, and EE are such a great staple in terms of duos is because you look at a person, to use this analogy, is you look at Eminem. Eminem is two people in reality. You have Marshall Mathers, and then you have Slim Shady. And you separate those two, somebody who's very methodical and straightforward with his rap lyrics, and somebody who's very crude and rude with his rap lyrics, and you put them as together, you kind of have a pretty good combination. And I think that's why, you know, TK, Breezy, and EE work, because TK is so methodical with his commentary. He has a method. He's smart. He likes to call things out, you know, with his knowledge. And then you have EE, who's just like gonna roast you on the spot because he knows, and he'll roast you about yourself and what you're doing and why you did it.
That's why I like EE. Like out of the two, I'm like an EE fan over a TK fan. Like they're phenomenal together because they have dynamic. But like that's like where I would stop. Like like I want to have the balance as much as possible, but like my choice is to be more like an EE, I guess.
Yeah. So for me, I think Zero should definitely in the future, if it's possible, which I'm pretty sure it might be, if he can commentate with like someone like EE, I think that would be like the best possible combination. Like, because he can say so much things, and even Zero is like really loose with things. He's not like super like, I'm just gonna never joke around and be super serious. So I think he was pretty like, he was saying some pretty funny things most of the time.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
But I think if he is with EE and EE just kind of like does that whole like role of just being like, I don't know if comedic relief is bad to say, but if he kind of does that and then Zero just he goes ham on just saying everything that's happening, then it'll be good for like everyone, like top players and the like lesser top players, I guess, who just want to like have fun with like watching it, not necessarily like learning everything that's happening.
Spectators.
Yeah.
I think as Zero starting out, I think we'll probably see if like there's another Smash Invitational. I think we'll probably see Zero like do commentary with somebody, or they'll probably put, if Zero isn't going to participate in what is potentially, or what it probably will be, Smash 4's final Evo, I think he'll probably be in the caster list as well. Zero is still relatively new to commentary, like you know you said, he's still has habits to make. I think the reason
put him on. They'd
still put him on.
If he wants to, they'd put him on.
And I hope,
he's like Zero commentating like automatically brings attention to the whatever he's commentating.
Yeah, and I think that's really, really perfect. I think when it comes down to it, you know, they are going to put him on. I hope he doesn't. I don't want to call him out in a bad way. He was probably one of the first 5 inspirations I had for commentary. You guys obviously being them, but I think Pierce was one that I kind of had to question.
Oh
a little
yeah,
bit.
Zero and Pierce were together. That would
Yeah.
probably be like super good.
It'll be good, but I think where
Or
Pierce
bias,
is
I
right
don't know.
now, where Pierce is right now is I think he just needs to. He's also making bad habits. I did kind of catch a little bit. I think it was a Frostbite that he did commentary. Yeah, I think Frostbite he did commentary, and his one bad habit that I kind of.
I think he was there.
I went. I don't. What was it? I think it was at Frostbite. I can't. If somebody.
Oh yeah, he was there. He was there.
Yeah. The only mistake I saw him make that kind of like bugged me is like the person he casted with. He did not let him talk whatsoever, and
that's like kind of always been Pierce's thing, and
Yeah.
I don't always give it on Pierce because sometimes it's just you kind of have to know how to pass to your other commentators. But I feel like there's even times when Pierce tries to pass the other person, but like Pierce has just said so much that the other person gets intimidated, and he doesn't want to sound like dumb or anything, so like they don't really pick up where he's trying to go, and it makes him like he's the only one talking. Of course, there's also maybe he does need to do like take more pauses in what he says and like leave more openings for the other person to add their thought. There's also just a lot of times where he's paired with someone that just like I don't know if I should say like isn't on his level or whatever, or doesn't feel with him.
Carrying them is what you're trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
No,
And like. Yeah, and it makes it seem like, man, Pierce never shuts up, but like the other person just doesn't really know what to say or like how to add to it.
Or
like,
Pierce has said
in a
so
meaningful
much.
way.
Yeah,
and
it's
Pierce
usually
is good at talking by himself, so he just keeps rolling with it.
Yeah. And I think that's still pretty good. I think those two together will be really, really good. I hope as they go on, as they continue to do commentary, they look to improve and probably will notice, the things they do wrong. Starting out, though, I know Pierce started returning to commentary slowly because, Zero's like, oh, I'm retiring. And Pierce is like, well, time to go back to what I used to do, And I'm pretty sure he had been looking forward to going back for a while. I was actually surprised for a while that Pierce didn't do any commentary. He just focused on coaching Zero.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, too, because, like, for me, I actually really like Pierce's commentary. He was, like, one of the few people I thought that I would start to do commentary from watching him commentate so many things. Just because I feel like he was one of the original, like, actual commentators that try to be very professional with Smash, like, even going back, like, to Brawl.
Yeah, his way was so good.
Yeah. He also does, I feel like he does talk a lot sometimes, or a lot of times, but he never, there's very few times where things that he's saying is, like, pointless, because he does like catch so many things that are just important.
Yeah.
But I hope that Zero and Pierce get time together. Yeah, of course, because like him and Korean are like they're coaches, so that's why I really like their commentary.
They look at good input.
Yeah. They look at it as like how a coach would look when they're like looking at the person they're coaching's game, or like analysis and going over everything that they're doing.
Yeah. I think people as a whole, when it comes down to commentary and how groups like Evo and CEO look for commentary, I think they look at it as like, and it's kind of obvious, they look for like teams like a team commentary, like for an example, if we have you two guys at like every MSM or every other, tournament, they're going to be looking like, oh, okay, we want to hire Team Stridesmaid for this specific event. So they're going to put you guys together. I think
let's go.
Stridesmaid. Yeah, I just came up with it on the spot because someone told me, I remember someone was saying like, because I usually open up. So if you guys don't know, like if you guys are listening for the first time, I usually open up commentary and whoever is with me will be there. And then I know it's usually Korean Strides or Stridesmaid who closes out, and I think that's really good that when organizations are looking to hire commentators and casters, they're looking at, okay, we want to hire a caster, but we want a team because that works good because we see TK, the Black Plague, as they call themselves, we see that work so well, and not everyone is D1 that can like pair up with anybody.
Yeah, and if you just have a person that you're like always with and you're just comfortable with, it tends to just be better. Exactly. Overall. Yeah, I agree with that.
And it works well. I think, but going back to the original topic, I think the layout for tournaments are pretty good right now. I think I remember like some people were used to seeing like several, at least 3 tournaments like every month last year, because and it was even a slight problem because I remember there was a time where like people were starting to slowly blame 2GG for a reason. They're like, oh, you guys have a tournament every week and nobody wants to go to this other tournament because you guys are hosting the big ones now. And I think that's kind of a weird thing to blame. I think
Salt.
yeah, it's a little salt, but I mean
It's salt.
it's a lot of salt.
Yeah, there are a lot of really interesting complaints last year.
Yeah, and it's not even
About
done on
that.
purpose. It's
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those
yeah.
deals.
But now I think it's good that there's kind of a gap between tournaments, so
Yeah.
players don't really get burnt out,
Yeah.
and they can dedicate their time to doing other things like streaming or even just like general health,
Which is important.
which is also
Yeah.
important for like
Yeah.
building up the hype of events in the first place. Because you see these players like streaming, you get to know them more and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, it's this guy I see at a tournament every week.
I think it's really good too. I think when we look at to call into like action, we have the Overwatch League, and that even has like an off period. Overwatch League is something very kind of similar in the structure to like SoCal Smash League. It brings people together, and it brings that awareness to a central focal point. Except the Overwatch League is more based on states, and it's very similar to the structure of like per se the NBA. I don't want to say it's 100% there, but it's kind of like it. Every city has a team, and those team plays for points, and then each team moves up, and then we'll finally have one final one. And the SoCal Smash League is kind of similar in the structure. I think as the only thing that a tweet was made by several higher level players is that we should kind of have an off season, to allow players to have, like you guys said, stream, take a break, practice on other things, focus on some life stuff. We did kind of have that, but it was very short lived. I think it was like 2 weeks, I want to say. It was a time between the PGR release and G5.
Oh, yeah, I don't consider that off season.
Yeah, it's not actually a break.
No, that's why I'm like.
And they still had VG boot camp, whatever. Whatever that
Invitational, yeah.
The Smash 4 bootcamp, yeah. I think we will see that at some point though, where we will like, and even some players suggest like there should be a union. Esports players and casters should have a union, and we should gather together. I think that would be pretty cool. I think that'll take time to actually be implemented. I think that we should though. The PGR and everybody should I'm pretty sure they're all gathered, but they should all agree on like, okay, here for 2 months we are gonna have an off season, and that'll be after the summer. So after August is over, September, October is an off season. Two good months to just relax, gear up for November and December, which are the great end of the year tournaments that we have.
Yeah, that's all I had on my mind about Smash lately. Really, those 2 things.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot. Actually.
Yeah, we did.
It's kind of just free form too. Like, personally, I feel like it turned out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was great. I was actually very nervous on the way here to do this because I'm like super nervous. But I talked to you guys, and you guys just, now we got this.
No need. You did. We all did good. I think.
Yeah, we all did good.
It was cool. This was a lot of fun, and definitely, I'm definitely willing to come back on.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want other people to have the chance, but I'm also willing to return once like other people have the chance.
Yeah, I think for now, just the structure of it that I kind of like spoke to several people. I'm gonna have like, I kind of want it to always be fresh, but I always want to have a co-host, and it's kind of hard to have a co-host. Like, yeah. So, this is kind of like I said, this is kind of like the beta version. I at some point, fingers crossed, I work my job, I go to school, I'm a bartender, and it does pay a lot of my bills, and it gives me a lot of money. I do want to have. What someone requested was, is it going to be a summit type of talk show? And I do want to do that. I want to have like a little studio where we can all come together and, do it live from a studio and make it look very professional. The only difficulty is, we all have different schedules, and it can be really tough to have a set date for that. So, but I hope to one day work to that studio kind of level. I hope to one day, actually say like, hey, SoCal Smash Network is now, funded by the people for the people, and I can say like, hey Edmund, you want to go to this tournament over there? Yeah, well, there's a SoCal Smash Network grant, so we can fly out which Nursemaid to said tournament, and he can go cast it, and I hope that I can do a lot more.
Please.
Yeah, I want to do a lot with this, but for now we are currently what I want to call the not even 1.1, like 0.9 beta, and I hope to improve a lot as we go on, especially out of the actual layout. For now, this is what I could do, and yeah, this was it's been so to mention it earlier, this was inspired by, if you guys don't know, please check out the content that he does. It's so inspiring to me, and I even got to talk to him at the News Melee Edition. Tafikits. He does such an amazing job that I think it inspired me to put on this show for everybody. And he has the Tafo Talks, the Commentators Curse, and they have other contents there. But it's so perfect that he does this content for SoCal and Smash in general, and that helps him out. And I kind of wanted to do the same kind of content for everybody to always enjoy, to always have these topics that they might ask. One of them being shoutouts to Andrew Muniz, who put the topic of the week for us, and give us a topic that the community may want to know, and we can all discuss it. And of course, it'll be things like, all right, it's not just random people, it's commentators, high level players, and I kind of want to have like I said, I want to have a co-host, but I also want to have rotating chairs so that people get a chance to be on the show, but they also can bring something fresh to the table, and every week. Sure. And I know
everyone has something to say.
Yeah, man. Exactly. And I'm super honored that, somebody that I looked up to like literally last year can be on the show with me, and someone that I've known for a while can join in on the show. So I want to thank you guys, Strides and Nursemaid, for joining me this week. And of course, I will have you guys again on the show.
Yeah, dude. I love this sort of stuff. I think it's great and definitely like necessary. Not too many people take the opportunity to talk about like just the various topics that surround the community that aren't just like people are like watching tournaments all.
Yeah.
It gets kind of stale after a while. Like Strides was saying, there should be like a downtime where players can stream, because that also like builds to the hype. It adds personality to the players, and it it promotes the scene more, because there's actually more and a wider variety of content for the community. Like it's all Smash stuff, but it's like varied, where it's like not just tournament stream after tournament stream after tournament.
Yeah, exactly. That's so like if you ever like need me to be on the show or want me to be on the show and I'm not doing anything, I'm down.
Yeah. I hope to get you guys back on. To close this out though, just a really quick thing. I just wanted to bring it up to you guys, and of course this is going to be a little bit of a topic for the next 2 weeks. This is a in-show topic, and then you guys can also join in and please leave a comment or just go ahead and tweet me out on Twitter. Do you guys think we should cover drama or things that are how would they say? Jeez, what's the word? But like Smash drama, because I do know there's one that's particularly going on as of yesterday.
That one's a subject that you should touch, but there's certain type of drama that I think you can talk about.
Okay.
And like I would say maybe do a different segment. Like you can do it on this show, but like it could even be on this same like segment or whatever. But like I don't know. It's something that I think is interesting. Like there is a way. Like I said, this particular topic that just came up, like I would just avoid that one, because I personally think it's not even a community issue. Like it's something that needs to be dealt within the community, but the problem is like not everyone needed to be involved to begin with. So there's other things where it's just kind of like like, oh, a player said this about the other player, and now like having a grudge match type of thing, like that'll be cool to talk about. Like
like if it's like that, it's cool, and if it also provides a platform for like people that are actually involved to talk on here instead of just us gossiping about it.
You bring the players on, they can
I think that's cool to do. Not just necessarily just us just sitting here talking about it, like, because basically at that point it's just like gossip, and you don't really need to do that on this. Like, we could talk to each other about that, like privately.
I don't want to do gossip at all. Key, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, because he's on the chat right now. It's the thing that Fieldman posted. The thing about that's it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It's the thing that Fieldman posted in a group chat. Of course, this show is sponsored obviously by myself, but it's also sponsored by these two wonderful casters. Of course, joined to I don't know if it's my right or my left. Joined to me on my right, of course, is the Hispanic heartthrob, Nursemaid. And joined to me, dude, that's the name I had to think of. I was like, what? I don't want to call him like esports Antonio.
Come on, dude. It was right there. It was right there, dude. You set yourself up for it.
Latin lover's overplayed. Plus, there's like an actual celebrity who is known, the Latin lover. Like that's his nickname. Like that's what everyone calls him.
Yeah.
So I'd never heard Hispanic heartthrob, and I mean that also alliterates and is works. So good job.
That's what matters, dude. I'm glad I got it.
I'm gonna keep calling you esports. Insert someone because it's.
I'm esports. Guy Fieri one day. I'm esports.
Rodriguez.
It's never gonna end.
Yeah, man. And I love the Guy Fieri face.
That people always say I look like someone else.
Yeah,
apparently I'm like the one I get the most is that I look like Jon Snow.
Oh yeah, dude,
yeah,
your hair now.
You do. Yeah, your hair now.
Esports Jon Snow.
Esports Jon Snow. Oh my god.
Yo, the North remembers.
Fred, that one I think is fine. That's cool with me.
Oh, dude, you need to get Daenerys on some cosplay photo editing crap. Get you the fur coat. It's all snowy and crap. You can hold a sword.
Oh,
you know that.
But yeah, actually, my thought of you was I thought you looked like Alan Enric.
See?
He's supposed to be playing Han Solo in the Solo.
Oh, you do look like him too, man.
You do.
I look like someone else.
Oh my god, it's like a combination of the hair and the face. It's not even a bad thing though. It's
it's not. It's not.
None of those people will look back. it's just funny.
At least it's all good-looking people.
Yeah. I mean,
which I actually just did.
Oh yeah, that was just the hair. That was purely the hair.
That was just me.
And the beard.
Yeah, it was the hair and the beard.
It was the hair and the beard, and that shit was hilarious.
But it was
actually,
my hair was totally blonde, but it wasn't I didn't have Guy Fieri's style. He has frosted tips.
It was just funny.
Yeah. So I came up with the Hispanic heartthrob. I think I was on Twitter, and then my coworkers are very nosy because they wonder why I disappear to on my spare time, and they're like, they saw your Twitter and they saw one photo you posted, and then my coworker is like, dude, that dude is freaking handsome. I don't know who that man is, but he is such a heartthrob.
I'm gonna spread it around.
Oh my god, it's the one that you were doing it for Spiff. It's I think.
Oh, are you holding the laptop?
Yeah. No,
not the laptop.
Oh wait, is that when he was holding the panties?
Yeah, that one. And my coworker's dude, that is a handsome ass man. That's a
wait. What? Did you have them in your mouth?
Yeah, he did. He was like, dude, that's a heartthrob. And I was like, yeah, dude. Me and him both speak Spanish and stuff. I was like, oh, dude. He's so handsome, and my coworkers was telling me, I was like, the Hispanic heartthrob, eh? So that's how I came up with it.
Nice. Tell your coworker I appreciate it. I'm flattered.
And then of course joined by me in the middle slot. You can't see him, but the very eccentric, the very amazing. He does only everything. 2GG Strides.
Top players.
I do.
Top player Strides.
Yeah. I am a top player, right? I beat it on that smart.
Yeah, you did.
Alright, dude, you're in there now.
Yeah, you're in.
Strides for PR.
Oh yeah, please.
Next season.
Next season.
Me too, man. But I got a lot of work to do.
It's too late, man. It's 2 weeks. Even I can't do it. Well,
bro, SoCal Smash League.
Maybe I can actually. 2 weeks. That's enough time to be at least 3 PR players.
Yeah.
All right, we in. Notice how to ignore all my bad losses.
All right, guys. Well, that's been a wonderful show today. I want to thank you guys once again for coming back. And I want to thank you, the viewers, for joining us today on the SoCal Smash Talk Show, hosted here every week on the SoCal Smash Network on Twitch TV.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys can follow my great friends here at Nursemaid, of course, and then of course you can follow my good friend in the middle at 2GGStrides on his Twitter. I'll obviously post the Twitter down below on the description for if you're watching it on YouTube. But do you guys have anything to say before we close out?
Yeah, actually, I do. So I was actually playing Smash, and I know Jordan Strides, excuse me, has been playing Smash
the whole time.
The whole time.
The grind never
I'm
ends.
actually playing right now.
Beforehand, I'm actually gonna go back to doing that. And previously, I thought I didn't have access to this room, so right now it's being used as a guest room. But they're gonna be out like clubbing or at the bar or whatever until 2 a.m. So I got some time to use the room. I'm gonna stream. If anyone is here wants to play, I'll do some viewer battles. Strides, do you want to play?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so we'll get started. Me and Strides. I'm just take 2 minutes to go grab the Wii U from my room and set it up. But I'm gonna actually just start the stream right now.
Yeah. I think I have the Twitch channel to host you automatically. So once it ends, yeah, it'll host you.
Yeah, like Nursemaid actually streamed pretty consistently now. So
yeah. So did you have anything to say before we close out?
No. But if you guys care about Smash and SoCal, like follow 2G Gaming, Bad Games, DCG I guess is doing stuff now.
Yeah.
Inimura too.
Yep.
Like there's a bunch of people. Follow SoCal Smash League. It has like all the tournaments.
And if you guys follow this Twitch, I do have them to actually be auto-hosted. So if you guys are following this Twitch, and if you're new to it at all, because I do know we had a pretty solid retweet, so I want to thank you guys as well. But if you guys are new to it at all, you guys can definitely just, I have it on auto-host, so you guys can do it. So, but that'll be it for the show this week, guys. Once again, thank you so much. I want to give a special shout out to DCG, Fire and Dice, 2GG, of course. Thank you guys so much. Specifically Fire and Dice and 2GG. You guys have been such amazing people for me, and you guys have even given me a home and two great casters to work with.
I wanna thank my mom for giving me birth.
Well, guys, that's going to be it for the show. Once again, you guys can tune us in next week. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and send them your way at socalsmashnetwork@gmail.com.
Flood the inbox.
Yeah, man, flood this inbox because you guys can send your questions just like Andrew Muniz did. And this is Vance, Nursemaid, and Strides signing off.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Okay. they know.
All right. I see. You got a nice little thanks for watching stream.